All right, there's the sounds. I'm going to do three. It's 9:49 on the clock. I'm going to do. Actually, let me double check that. Let me look at our notes. Is it 9:49 or 9:59?
9:59.
9:59. So let me change that.
Sir.
9:59 on the clock. And you'll hear me do marker time and marker time and music. All right. Marker time music.
This is R. Morton Mon.
And I am Charles McFall. And we are all about bigger, badder, better, more.
Bigger, badder, better, more. We're here to help others be awesome.
And you've landed on the comedic motivational show, Success Freaks.
Welcome everyone to the #1 Eager Beaver comedic motivational show, otherwise known as Success Freaks. Today's working title is episode 170, A Proactive Helping Hand. And today we're coming at you semi-live from Gastonia, North Carolina, and the Bears Den in Monticello, Georgia. That's right, we're an all-South show today. So welcome everybody, and in the South, in that sexy South, in the warm South, is the dark side of positive Charles McFall, who is shaking his head no. What's the matter?
You know, you stereotype us Southerners. You stereotype us with your horrible accents, and I must replace you with somebody now. I'm just saying. I'm going to bring out Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster and I are going to handle this. I'll throw out, hey, Cookie Monster, are you proactive? He goes, I eat cookies, cookies.
When I think about the accent, it's kind of like a George Bush and something else. But what really comes out
is awesome. That's awesome. We're all George Bush. Thank you.
What really comes out is the guy from Fifth Element.
Yeah.
With the other guy, and he's just right. So I don't know why. I don't know. It's not our country, so I talk like this.
Not Bruce Willis.
No, Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. No, he was awesome. He was good. So, so we're talking about proactive helping hand, and you threw out the Monticello. This is the last time we should be broadcasting from Monticello. The Bears Den is moving this weekend, and I'll be moving up towards Atlanta. We'll be in the suburbs of Atlanta, so it might be Bears Den Atlanta now. We'll have to figure that. You'll figure that out because you're the one who says it every week.
That's right.
So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Come at me. So yeah, will you actually be in Atlanta? Where's the city?
The city's actually Conyers, but it's considered part of outside the perimeter metro, suburbs, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Well, congratulations on that. So let's get into this. Let's get into this thing. Proactive helping hand. We always talk about help others be awesome and that kind of jazzy jazz. Well, recently as yesterday, I got the opportunity to help somebody out. Now, I've not really made a big deal of it, of anything. I've recently joined the Masons, and one of the things that in fact, that's why I traveled from Minnesota to North Carolina, flew back to Minnesota, flew back to North Carolina, did the weekend. Anyways, one of the things that we do is we help each other out. It's all about that lending a helping hand, brotherly love, being a service to each other, etc., especially somebody in distress. Now, I was going to a lodge yesterday, and a buddy of mine, a very new buddy of mine, in fact, I met him this weekend. It's his lodge, and he was going to meet me there, and he was going to introduce me to everybody. But he had a problem happen with his child, having to go to the hospital, and his child was in the care of his ex-wife, so he had to meet her there after work. And he was taking the bus in, which is really close to the lodge anyways. And so at first I was determining, hey, do you need a ride to the lodge? And he's like, no, I'll do that. And then he's like, I can't go. I'm going to go ahead and text the brothers so that they'll know that you're coming, but I've got to go to the hospital, which is near the lodge. He did not ask for help. In fact, a couple of times I was like, do you need anything? He's like, no, I'm good. It's just like a 10-minute walk. But because he told me where the bus station was, I'm like, that's silly. He's obviously got something going on. He needs to get there with some alacrity. So I went. It wasn't really out of my way, but I went out of my way, and in fact, I'm going to the lodge. I've only got an hour. They're doing a dinner. I can't attend their meeting, but there's only an hour, so this is going to cut into that time. Not a big deal. So without him saying, "Hey, I need this," I just called him up again and said, "Listen, I want to give you a ride. I figured out where it was." He said, "It's near the Best Buy." I'm like, "I'm at the Best Buy. Where's the bus station? I'm going to pick you up." He goes, "Oh, well, just go over here." So I went over and I met him, and he was very, very grateful. Said, "Thank you very much." It was a 5-minute drive for me, not a big deal. But this, the thing that struck me about this, it's looking for a way to help others. Often, somebody will ask us for help, like, "You're moving." People will be like, "Oh, I'm busy," or whatnot. But then there are those people who are like, "Let me help you," or who will call you and say, "Hey, look, let me help you. I got a truck. Let me help you." Being proactive in helping each other out, and without expecting something really in return. And the way we work with the success freaks here and the law of attraction and all that, the universe is a reciprocal universe. It's going to come around, if for the only reason because you're adding cool points to your side of the tally, and people are just going to want to help you out. But this was an opportunity for me to do this, and it really hit home. It's like I felt good about it. It really didn't take too much out of my day, but it lent itself towards something that I had agreed to do by joining this institution. So that's what I thought we'd talk about today, being a proactive helping hand.
Cool. I got an idea for the discussion in the next segment. But yeah, sometimes you do have to. I think there's 3 kinds of helpers in the world. Let me change my thought here. I think there's 3 kinds of helpers in the world. There are the people who don't really want to help, but they will. Do I get paid? Or if I'm not busy, or I've been that guy. I think we all go through these cycles, and I've been the guy like, I don't want to go blah 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 this morning. Now somebody didn't directly ask me. I just knew they could use my help. I'm like, I just don't feel like it. Then there's so that's the begrudging helper. Then there's the people, well, you didn't ask me to help. It's and that's why I always ask. So nobody can ever say, well, you didn't ask me. Well, I put it out as best I can. I have a huge contact list, and I'm not going to go down my phone. It's like, hey, are you here? Can you help me? Hey, are you here? I'm not doing that. I'm making it clear that I'm moving, and I'm looking for people to help, and that's that. So there's the people who you have to ask, and they'll do it if you ask, but they're not proactive. And then there are the people who are always going, hey, what's going on? And in this specific case, I want to go ahead and give kudos to one of our show members, one of our team members, I guess I should say, which is Angie, Rock Girl. She was always like, hey, I'm going to come and bring my truck, and I'm having to do something real quick. I'm sorry, I'm distracting myself, but I messed up when I set up the recording, so I'm fixing it real quick. There we go. All right. So she.
So we're like, recording now, right?
Yeah. We've been recording. It's whatever. So she's like, "Hey, I'm going to be there whenever you move. I've got a truck. I've got a trailer. You just let me know when it is." And all along the process, she goes, "Okay, have you got a date yet? Because I'm going to be there." And I want to big thank you to her, for definitely being that person. And that's the person you're talking about. Is, hey. It's even levels of proactivity, isn't it? You started with asking, hey, do you need anything? And you could have let it go, and you didn't, so kudos to you. Right. You could have let it go and said, oh, well, he said he didn't need anything. And maybe you asked again, oh, no, he didn't need anything. But you stayed on it. Angie didn't even ask. And that's another level of being proactive is she going, no, I will be there. You just have to let me know when. And if you don't let me know when, that's your fault, and you're an idiot. And she actually says I'm an idiot, so...
Well, often I'm the guy who's just like, no, I can't, I'm busy, and then it will sink in. I'll either think about it, and it usually won't be guilty. It'll just be more of a, oh wait, no, I can't do that. I'll usually answer immediately no, and then I'm the guy that'll show up. Versus the people who say, yes, I will do it, and then don't show up. Because as we learned in the I can never remember the name of that book. It's the Willpower Instinct. Is that just thinking about helping your friend out will make you feel good as if you've done something, and
so you have to show up and do it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And people who do, why do we do anything? Really, we do it because it feels good. Even if it's something altruistic, even if it's just whatever, you're just, well, it feels good to be able to be of service to somebody. But just thinking about it is enough, so you feel that satisfied. You got to take a step further to actually do the work.
Yeah, I was going to say that helps.
Motivational stuff is just, hey, look, I'm visioning my life getting better. I'm visioning me doing these things, and that's enough. They never work. They never do the work. They never go anywhere. They go from one motivational book to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might help you. It might fire off in your brain, but that doesn't help me, who actually has to move the boxes. So we man, we went fast here. We've got something coming up in the next segment. I already have an idea for what we're going to discuss, all along this topic of being proactive and helping. You can find us on Gastonia's own AM 1450 WGNC. We're there on the radio. Hey, Gastonia. And, of course, you can find us on SuccessFreaks.com for all the podcasts and everything. And you can always write us, contact@SuccessFreaks.com. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned. We've got a whole lot more coming up next.
Nice.
Hit right on
Hitting
the
that post.
All right, so I've royally screwed myself.
What'd you do?
This whole thing. It's not major. I mean, when I say royally, I'm exaggerating. I'm going to clear off of this. I did not finish deleting all the tracks from last week when I thought I had. And I definitely did not delete the markers. So when I put in markers, it gets all confusing. But I'm deleting the markers now. I moved the tracks really quickly right there. Because it was like, I saw it, it was coming up like a Mack truck, getting closer. I was like, oh, if it's overwrites, it's a pain in the ass to fix. So I got it taken care of. Everything's
I'm gonna go use the restroom.
all right.
See if I can hear you all the way in here.
I drank all my coffee already. That's a sad, sad thing. That seemed right.
Oh, I can smell the roast cooking on the crock pot.
That's such a crock.
That's such a crock.
All right. Okay, so I've got a question we'll throw at you for the discussion. That wants the discussion. I think it'll be good.
Right.
Along the lines of being proactive. So whenever you're ready, I'll do.
I'm ready.
All right.
We just check to make sure that I'm recording. Should be.
Still,
yes. All right.
8:59.
8:59.
Yep. All right. Marker time.
Welcome back to Success Freaks. Today we are talking about lending a proactive helping hand. And what that means is just instead of sitting back waiting for somebody to ask you, actually actively looking for something that's going to be there. In fact, let me read the definition I found on dictionary.com of proactive. Serving to prepare for, intervene in, or control an expected occurrence or situation, especially a negative or difficult one. Anticipatory. And the thing that I wrote out, it was willing, ready, and swift. Ever looking to lend a hand. You know, you're just looking to help. Looking to help. And that's what we're talking about today. What do you got, Charles?
My question, Morna, is what is the difference between being nosy, butting in, and even somewhat controlling, and being proactively helpful?
Wow. I probably the amount of energy that you put into it. There's if the person says no, thank you. If the person says I don't need your help, then you take them at face value.
But you did. The guy said, I don't need anything. So you didn't, and
well,
he actually did.
He actually didn't. It was just kind of hanging in the air. He didn't say, I don't need it. I said, if you need anything, let me know. And he's like, cool, thank you. But he didn't ask. He didn't ask for help. If he had said, no, I don't need this, let me do this, I would have left it alone.
Okay.
If you would have said to Angie, no, we got this, thank you very much. There's already too many people helping me out. Or the kids are crazy right now, and your wife's is already kind of like, just let it go. And she would say no. But if she continued to go on, she continued to show up when you have said no, I don't need the help, then it's just like that's too much. You have to take people at face value. There's sometimes where you get in trouble with this with husbands and wives. No, everything's fine. You can take that as face value, or you can go, no, what she really wants me to do is ask more, because we talked about this when there wasn't an issue, and I know how to deal. I know what she says she wants, although she won't say that now. So usually with friends or
the nose of the newspaper, train them. Use your words.
Use your words. That's right. Say what you want. So the thing is to look for the opportunity to help, and it's kind of a non-passive aggressive. You're not going to just let it happen. Well, somebody will ask me if he needs help. He'll ask. It's like, no, you go out there and help. Sometimes people are too proud, or they think they should do it themselves, or whatever. Now this is not. Let me see if I wrote this down somewhere, and I did not. This is not doing it for them. When they need to learn a lesson, it's not that. It's not about hey, let me do this thing for you, because sometimes they need to learn the lesson. Interventions are great when it comes to alcoholics and comes to drug abuse, et cetera, and necessary often. However, until that person is ready to quit on their own, they're just a dry drunk. They're not stopping really. They're just giving you lip service.
See, that's something actually for some reason popped in my mind not that long ago. Are interventions actually good? Are they actually helpful? Because here's the outline, and I know there's no definite answer. I know it's individual to the situation. But the outline of an intervention is somebody's doing something harmful to themselves and to others possibly. Drugs, alcohol, hoarding, something over the top that we consider extreme as a society or as an individual. And so the family and friends set them down, and I'm going to spin it two ways. You set them down, and they come in, and I think you have to have these letters written out. To do it officially, you have to have a mediator and somebody to help it not become a fight and a yelling match, and you have to write the letters out so you just read what you have to say, not get caught up in the moment, and you express these loving thoughts and emotions and this and that and the other. That's what everybody thinks of, I think, as a intervention. But the other way I thought it is like, what if you're doing something and you're not ready to change and you don't give a crap and you're not going to do something about it? And so when you come in, now you're ambushed by all these people who you've been telling all along, what I'm doing is not wrong, or what I'm doing, I don't care what you think. And they say all these things, and now you're just out in you're just thrown out into the world or whatever. You feel alone or you feel ambushed. And then I thought one less step, and I'm going to throw it back to you, is what happens when it's somebody who doesn't believe gay is right and they have an intervention with somebody who's gay? Not saying it does happen that way, but these are my thoughts, and I don't know that interventions are good.
Let's talk about first of all the intervention thing. I don't have the statistics on that, whether they work. Let's just talk about alcohol and drugs for a second.
Sure.
Whether they work, don't work. What's the percentage of it actually? What's the data on that? Are they really helpful, or are they just kind of? And if they don't work, are they a stepping stone on the way to this person getting better? So that's a possibility too. But I don't have those stats. I don't know. One of the reasons that, and switching to something else, one of the reasons that the main reason that suicide is illegal is because you are performing murder on yourself. It's an act of murder, so we're going to stop you. It doesn't matter what you want. That's illegal. You cannot do that. So So that is one way in which, you know, the law intervenes in something that you're doing something harmful to yourself. You know, a lot of times the law will have to intervene because it's a natural inclination for people, oh, I just want to do this thing, and then they ruin their lives or lost their lives or whatnot. Or now family members for drugs and alcohol. Now, when it comes to something like you know, the gay issue, etc., it depends on where the data is with all that. You know, everybody who listens to Success Freaks know that we believe it's you're born that way, and that's just, you know, that's what's going on, and these people have the same rights as any other couple does. Now, we're not getting to the religious aspect of that. This is just the rights, etc. But what do you do when a family steps in and goes, well, we're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to make sure that you're not gay anymore? It's like, well, that's like making sure that I'm not white anymore. That's like making sure that I'm not a man anymore. That's like making sure that I am not graying anymore, although I do fight that battle often. You know, then it's like a lack of knowledge on one side or the other. You know, then it's like, well, what do you do there when the intervention side is in the wrong?
Well, you know, standing aside from that, because I don't know anybody's done an official intervention. I don't know anybody's done an official intervention for homosexuality. I know stories of some friends of mine where their family sat down and they were deeply religious and problems ensued. But I wouldn't say that's an intervention. But let's go to drugs and alcohol, where it's typically used, right? If they don't want help, it doesn't seem like it'd be very helpful. It seems like an intervention is a last straw to kick somebody out. And I understand that. I've had to put somebody out of my house before because they wouldn't get their crap together. But as my kids, I'm thinking of, okay, in the situation of my children, and as a success freak, I always want to deal with the why. Let's instead of coming head on with a baseball bat to you're doing drugs and you're going to stop doing drugs, I personally go, why are you doing the drugs? Let's come around, let's do an end around, let's deal with the situation that causes it, and then ultimately you'll want to get help for the outside thing, which is the drugs. I don't know.
Right. Now, they may, you know, you're putting on that kind of pressure. People are going to do whatever they can to avoid that pressure. If you're an addict, they're going to say what they want to say. They're going to do what they want to do just to get you off their back. We've had a very good friend of ours, a Tortuga friend of ours, who was running a business of ours, and we did not know at the time, who was addicted to painkillers. That business she was running, we made about $3,000 in it or something. That money went away, and the person went away, and it was then it came to light that, oh, this is where it all went for. This is what's happening. So they're going to give you lip service until they want to get that help. They're going to give you lip service, and I think that we should move on from this.
Yeah, I think we've asked more questions than we've answered here, but that's the thing with help. It is a process. So continue following along with us. We'll continue with the process. All coming up next, right here on SuccessFreaks.com.
Sorry, I didn't have a really good way to wind that down.
And you could have taken this out. I mean, it'd been fine too.
One day I will. One day I will.
I need to put a marker here. All right. So the next one's the question.
Yes. You gonna read that?
Yes.
Obliviously.
All right. So marker time.
Welcome back to Success Freaks, where we're discussing a proactive helping hand. We're now in that section of the show where we talk about a question, and Charles has garnered a question from somewhere. Look at you smirking at me.
I thought I might have to be proactive and help you understand where we are in the show.
Thank you. Would you be proactive with that?
All right, we're at the listener question here, and I forget who actually wrote this in. We actually pulled this one from Yahoo Answers. How do I be/get proactive? I've been told to get proactive. I don't mean to face stuff, but I have been very proactive. I have very protective parents, Mom in particular. And the only one who is helping/believes in me is my boyfriend. Any suggestions? I like to get out of this rut without biting someone's head off or lowering my standards. Now, there's a lot of details missing here, so there's an update. Update number 1. I need to get proactive towards moving onward in my life. At the moment, I'm getting told, wait until insert event here, is fixed/solved, mostly from my folks. It's driving me insane and getting me down. Update number 2. Just some details to help everyone out. Also, I'm 23 and I don't have a license as I have diabetes and epilepsy. It feels like my folks are using that against me, though. So, Mordant, how does this person who's 23, who's presumably a girl, because typically with a boyfriend it's a girl, but it could be a guy, either way, who's living at home, who has epilepsy and diabetes and doesn't have a license, and seem to have protective parents. How do they get proactive in their life?
It's a difficult situation that this person is because you don't know what level that the parents are what level of control they have over this person. Hey, look, we're paying for your, take care of your epilepsy, we're taking care of your diabetes, we're making sure that your, all your, medical issues are dealt with. So it's better that you stay home here. The practical upshot is you don't know what kind of cards you're going to get dealt in life. You don't know what kind of life you're going to have, what's going to come up in your life. What you do know is that you have responsibility for your life, for your own happiness, for your own life experience. You're 23 years old. If you want to get out into the big wide world, even just a little bit, it's about that time. You're going to have to learn to live with the diabetes, which people do. You're going to have to learn to live with the epilepsy, which people do. You may not be able to drive a car, but there are other modes of transportation around. You may not be able to live out in the big wide country and then go to the city every day because you're not going to be able to drive, but you will be able to set yourself up so that you can have a life. There are people blind living on their own. There are people with severe handicaps living on their own. There are people with severe medication or medical issues living on their own. It sounds like this person just wants a little more say in what's going on in their life. And you get that. You get that. You get to have that, but you have to fight for it. You have to at least stand up for it. And she's right. She doesn't want to bite anybody's head off. You have to understand where the parents are coming from, too. They've raised you, and they've probably been very protective all your life to make sure that with these issues that you're able to live as normal life as possible. And now you're shrugging that off. Well, you're 23. Even if you didn't have these issues, it's about that time for you to shrug off your parents' hand on you so that you can begin living your own life. It's a natural progression. Usually that happens in the teenage years. You hear about the rebellious teenagers. Well, that's kind of a normal step. It's not a fun step. It kind of sucks for the parents especially, who just love the kids, and then they become this other thing with all the energy in them and just pushing mom and dad, and no. And it's not till about their mid to late 20s and into the 30s where they circle back around and go, yeah, I was kind of a douche right then. So it's about that time for you to stretch out and begin doing things. But you got to do it in a smart way. You still got to take care of all these medical issues. That's my read on this so far.
I'll speak to two situations here. One is I know a person who grew up with diabetes, and the mother especially, was way overprotective. It's like there's a disease, the bubble boy, whatever. There's that movie that John Travolta is, The Boy in the Bubble, and that's a real situation. Rare as it is, there's a couple different diseases. There's one that you're allergic to the sun, which is a bad one. But there's one that essentially you have no immune system whatsoever. I don't mean AIDS or HIV. I mean you're born with everything can kill you.
Right.
And that's the whole bubble situation. And there are definitely times when you have to be protected, but people who act like diabetes or even epilepsy is that they overreact. So it sounds like that might be some of the case here. But it doesn't help the person asking the question. But it does say sometimes you have to make a hard break. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, I just have to do it. I don't care what you guys say. Sometimes you do have to bite heads off and smack hands, because sometimes being nice doesn't work. You ever watch Roadhouse? You be nice until it's time to not be nice. That's my slogan. So walk your parents to the door, and if they don't leave, kick them in the face. It's okay.
No.
I'm just kidding.
You ask them to leave, but you be nice the whole time. You be nice. Yes, you're right. Until you
still end up kicking people in the face. You actually neither here nor there. So anyway, you can try to be nice, but I can tell you, for a parent and kid's relationship is such a difficult thing, and it's family in general. At some point in life, you get locked in to who you were at that moment, and it seems to be in the teenage years. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 40, until that mold gets broken, your family sees you as that. They don't see that you've changed. They don't see your new life. Now, to the parents, and I don't know what to do about that other than I literally had to break off from my parents. You can't talk to us anymore. You can't see us anymore because you refuse to see my life. You refuse to treat me like a human being, and I'm not having it anymore. And that did work for me. Now I have a relationship with my parents. They see the family, and things are hugely different in a good way. I'm not saying that should work for everybody. I'm just saying I don't have an answer specifically for her. But to the parents, you have to let go. And this is something I'm working on myself. Even now with small children, I have to go, okay, to Halloween. I think we spoke about this the other day. I'll do it very, very, very briefly. I don't like Halloween. I don't like what people do with it. I don't like anything about Halloween. It just, I don't like it. I think it's stupid, and I want to stay away from it. However, I'm learning to let that go and let my kids see it for what they want to see it for and let them make their own decisions in life. It's fine. I'm not going to make my hatred of Halloween a religion and beat that into them. I'm going to let them do what they do. You have to do that with kids, even if they have diabetes, even if they have epilepsy. At some point, there will always be, or wait till this situation is fixed, or wait till you give that under control. Just wait. There's always a just wait because you're scared. You have to let go because I did so much stupid stuff in my life that could have gone horribly wrong. I have done things in my life that have gone wrong, and that's learning lessons.
And know that you're gonna know that as you step out and begin doing this. First of all, my advice would be to do this. Take some baby steps. Do it don't do everything hog wild. Boom! I'm out of here. I'm kicking my parents out and not have a plan. Make a list of things that you want to accomplish. Then make a list of and then add to that list those things that you need to do leading up to that. Know that you are going to trip and fall on your face. Know that you are going to fail at some point, and it's part of the process. And be okay with that, so that when you do fail and everybody's going, "See, I told you this would happen," you'll be like, "It's part of the process." When you're learning to ride a bike, you use training wheels. You take off the training wheels, you're going to fall over sometimes until you really learn to do it. It's part of the process. So make sure you do your due diligence and take these steps one at a time. And if you can be nice, if you can be understanding to your parents, do that because their feelings are involved. But you have a responsibility to live your life, even as it is. You have a responsibility to eke out the best life you can possibly have, even with the diabetes, even with the epilepsy. That's your responsibility, and if some of that self-confidence is garnered by you taking a stand for yourself, so be it. Just try to be nice about it, and have kind of a plan. You need to have a plan. That's what I'm saying. Plan.
And I never had a plan, not till I was.
Look where you are now.
After I'm married,
living in Monticello.
I just not for long. There's what is that thing that floats on the internet all the time? The most famous failures in life, and the list of people who left school, who never finished high school yet they're hugely successful. People like Bill Gates and Michael Jordan and all these other things. I might be mixing the list together. I know Bill Gates was the one who never finished high school, and look at him now. There's those things that I'm saying we get stuck in ruts, and you should just move forward in life. Just because you don't have a plan doesn't mean you don't move forward. It means you need to get out there and do what you do. And as long as you're going, I don't know, but I'll figure it out, that sometimes is good enough, and good enough sometimes is what has to work. So what's good enough for us is SuccessFreaks.com has all your podcasting stuff on it, all our podcasting stuff on it. There's blogs, there's videos, there's articles, which are the same thing as blogs, so I just repeated myself. And we'd love to hear from you. Contact at SuccessFreaks.com. We'll answer you on the air, or if you ask us not to, we'll just write you back directly. And check us out there on all social media. We'll be right back. Put another marker in.
Nice.
All right. Is it 10? It's 10:49.
49.
Right?
Yeah.
Right now?
No, on the clock. All right. 10:49. So this is level up. What do you have for? Do you have something?
Well, about being it's mostly about being proactive and helping others out. Is just to be able to look for that kind of thing, And when somebody comes to you, if it's something you can do, insert yourself in there. Or if you see a need without somebody even asking, do that. Do it as an exercise to to see what it feels like. That's kind of what I mean.
Cool. All right. I got something similar. Mine is about learning when to do it anyway and help out, and
Nice.
knowing when they're going to be grateful and when to step back and not put your hands on it. All right, so I'm going to do marker time and we'll go. Marker time.
The show is Success Freaks. Today we are talking about a proactive helping hand, when you should actually step in to help out your neighbor, your brother, your friend, or even people that you don't know. This is the level up section where we talk to you a little bit about what you should do there. When trying this out, when putting this on for the first time, we've always been talking about help others be awesome, but when you do that, when somebody, you can either wait till somebody asks you and tell yourself, you know what, I'm just going to say yes here, if you're able to. You don't do it to the point where it really hurts what you're doing. That's another thing that's very important, is so much that you can do here. As much as you can do this here. If you have somebody who's putting out their hand, and this is, again, I want to reiterate something. This is not about the money. A lot of time it's just easier for us to throw money at us, or throw money at the problem. When there's stuff going on in an earthquake here, or the soup kitchen there, let me just throw them at it, and then I don't have to worry about it. So this is talking about getting your hands dirty. So looking for that opportunity to get your hands dirty. And if it's somebody keeps coming out going, hey, I need money, hey, I need money, hey, I need money, and it's starting to eat at your bank account, or at least starting to bother you, you don't have to do that, but you can lend a helping hand. So one way is to wait for somebody to ask for that, and you're like, oh, there it is. Or you can actively just keep your heart open, keep your mind open to looking for those things. Where can I be of service? If you believe in God, you can pray about it. If you are something else, you can meditate about it. Just keep your heart open to being able to do that. And then when the thing arises, if it's not something that you usually are inclined to do, use this just as an exercise. I'm going to try this once. I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself out. I'm going to do it once. It's not going to hurt me to do it once. And if it turns out badly, you have to be careful, because with the law of attraction, if you really believe, oh, well, they're just taking advantage of me, you may be creating that or co-creating that. So maybe one time isn't enough for you, especially if that's your belief system. That's what we're working on too. Where can you do this where actually helping other people is a blessing to you? Because this situation turned out to be a blessing to me. I was able to act on something that I declared, yes, I will be a part of this when their need arises. This is my first opportunity to do this since I took on that obligation. And it was a blessing to me. I felt good about it. So that's what you're going to do. Just try it. Try it as an exercise. Try it as a meditation, or to help somebody out.
My level up here. Oh, actually, before I get to that, I want to talk to a point that Morton just made, which is I just lost it because I started off my section instead of answering to a point you just made. I'll come back to it, I'm sure. Do what you feels good. You do what feels right. Even though everything might be saying now is not the time to do that, you should never do that. It's just crazy. Don't do that. But it feels good. Do that. We always do things that feel good for ourselves. That's what's successful in life. And you were talking about the one time, the trying it the one time. That's what the point was I wanted to answer to. And be careful, blah, 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 about it failing and being negative. But even if you try it the one time, you still need to do it because it feels right to try it. And it doesn't matter what happens. You want to assimilate the information and learn from it. But it's not about, well, that failed, I'm never going to do that again. To me, it's not about necessarily. It can be definitely about co-creating a negative outcome, that kind of thing. But I personally go, I'm going to try this, and it feels right because I want to see what that feeling does for me and how it changes my life. Oh, that failed, but I don't feel bad about that. So, okay, it worked for me. That's how I want to see that. And my level up is that in itself is always do things because it feels right for you. If somebody's saying, no, I don't need your help, and it just feels wrong to not help them, and I don't mean in a controlling way, I don't mean they're not doing it right, I mean in a level up, you've evolved yourself, you've grown, you've become more mature way of, you know what, they really need some help. And even though they're saying, no, I got it, I'm going to get in there and try to help. And if they fight, because it's not about a fight. It's not about I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. It's about maybe you're too proud to ask. Maybe you feel pride that it's your job. And look, I can still help you. I can still do something for you. And I've done that many times. And you just have to do what's right for you, and that's my level up, is learn what's right for others as well. We talked about the parents and letting go, and I realize I have my opinions on Halloween and all that, and people agree with me, some people disagree, some people think I'm going too far, but it doesn't matter. I still believe what I believe, but I've also realized if you make what you believe about somebody else, then it becomes a religion, and then it's not faith. And don't get confused. We're not talking about faith and God and all that stuff. We're talking about beating your ideas into somebody else. That's what I'm talking about. So learn to do for yourself. That's the bottom line, Morten, I think, for me, is learn to do for yourself.
Now, and be careful that you don't take the power away from somebody else. Remember, you are responsible for your own life experience, your own happiness, just as they are responsible for theirs. Now, this person really needs help. I'm gonna make sure I help this person out. Don't take away their power just because that's what you want. Oh, I'm a helpful guy. Don't do that, because they need to learn lessons too, and that's a hard thing to do as a parent. From what I've seen, that's a hard thing to do as a parent, to allow your child to fall and stumble, whether they're just learning to walk or becoming a young adult or something else, because that stumbling and figuring it out is going to give them self-confidence, and it's going to show them how to problem solve on their own, which they need. If you continually pick up your child and walk them around, they're not going to learn to walk. If every time your child gets into trouble, you throw money at them, they're not going to learn to problem solve. They're going to learn to put out their hand and wait for the money. You need to allow them that time. You need to allow them that experience. And if you're able to help, great. If you're able to be of service to others, great. But don't be a disservice. So be careful with that.
I want to throw one answer back to the question from the last segment to both the parents and the kid, is no matter what you do in that situation, set it up to where you can change your mind. You can fix things later. As a parent, you have to let go, and you want to help them, but always be ready to help when they want help. As a kid, you want to get out. Well, 23-year-old, you're not a kid, but you're their child. But at 23, you want to get on your own. You want to start dealing with your medical problems on your own. You want to do this. Don't get so stubborn in either side of it that you can't come back and say, I do need a little bit of help. And don't be so controlling that, oh, you took a step and you failed, let me go fix it for you. You have to hands off, but also be hands open. Welcome them back.
Nice. Very nice.
So where all can they find us, sir?
Well, if you want to find Success Freaks anywhere, any kind of social media, go to successfreaks.com. All of our social media runs through there. Of course, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have all these other, Google Plus, we have YouTube, but everything runs through successfreaks.com. If you want to email us, it's contact@successfreaks.com. If you want to fast track, you don't believe in websites, they're the devil, and you just want to go to Facebook, usually it's the other way around, but whatever. That's your thing. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do for that. Facebook.com/successfreaks. You can find us there. If you have any questions that you want to put out, maybe you have a question that a quote-unquote friend is going through, that's fine. Go ahead and shoot us that question, and we'll read it on the air. It doesn't even have to be about you. It can be about anybody else. We're here to be of service and lend a proactive helping hand.
Absolutely, absolutely. We also have a book out. You can go to successfreaks.com/book, and you'll find a Success Freaks Guide to Dream Hunting. And it is about our journey. It's a tabletop, little easy reader. It's blogs that we wrote. This isn't a big novel. It's not going to solve everything in your life, but it is an in-depth look into what I was going through, what Morten was going through, the lessons we learned, and how we saw it at the time. So you can find that on Amazon. And we do have a way that you can give back to the show, that you can help out. We have patreon.com, where you can give an ongoing donation, and you get to control it through each month. Each month you get to say, hey, I can only give you $1 this month, and that's fine. We ask for $1 an episode, helps us out. It all goes to the goals that are on the side of our page. So it's patreon.com/successfreaks. You can find that there. And you can give 10 cents. You can give whatever you want. We appreciate any help you can give us. It's just going to help us be bigger, better, more. So go by and check that out. Did you mention? I think you did. Did you mention iTunes and giving us ratings?
I did not actually mention iTunes. I know. If you're enjoying this as a podcast, or if you're not enjoying this as a podcast but would like to, we are available on iTunes. We're available on iTunes. We're available on Stitcher. We're available on a plethora of other things. But every Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, we are available at AM 1450 WGNC in the Gastonia area.
And
Where
on
listen to
you
us.
can listen on the stream, am1450.com, I believe it is. It's on TuneIn as well. So it's not just a Gastonia area. You can get it live, broadcast at a time slot anywhere in the world from them as well.
That's right. That's right. So please hit us up on any kind of social media. We like to interact with you guys, and we like to talk about it in the show as well. If you have a very interesting situation you are in, or if you have a success story that you would like us to read, or maybe even come on to the show, let us know. We are open to all of those kind of groovy things. I mean, we talk to each other all the time. We'd like to talk to other people too.
All right, well, take us out, man.
All right. Thank you for listening in today, ladies and gentlemen. This has been R. Mordant Mon.
And I can do it, Bear. But can I have $5, please?
Oh, ciao, success freaks. Boom, baby. There we go.
Was that clear that that's like a parrot thing? I can do it. But can I borrow $20?
Yeah.
I
No, not really. You should have said that.
Sorry.
We have On Beyond. Do you have anything for On Beyond? Anything else you want to talk about? I think we kind of beat this horse.
No, not really. So we should swap to a different thing, I guess, to fill the space.
Yeah, you want to talk about? I don't know if we want to talk about NMX. No, what do you want to talk about? I don't know.
Maybe we get into. Besides that, I don't know. How do you be proactive in your own life? How to fix your own stuff that you're just not avoiding? I don't know. You gotta come up with something. I always come up with something.
All right, hey, let's just enter in, bring us in, and we'll talk about how we don't have anything to talk about, and we'll just see what goes from there. If that sucks, we'll do another one.
All right. Marker. Actually, you know what? No marker. I gotta put 10 minutes on the clock here. All right. Marker time. Welcome to On Beyond Success Freaks, where we go bigger, badder, better, more, into the topics of the show that we just did. I used to say the evening, but we don't record in the evenings anymore. So into the topics of the show. This particular show was being proactive and giving a helping hand. And we don't really have anything to go deeper into that particular topic today because we covered a whole lot of areas. I think we covered a lot of what we could do. We finally got a nice specific topic that we could give specific answers to, and that leaves us with another 10 minutes or so to fill up with talking. So,
well,
does this hat make me look fat?
No, yeah. The hat's fine.
Oh, it's just everything else is what you're saying.
There's those drapes in the background. Oh, wait, I'm the one with drapes in the background. Anyways, you had talked about, maybe we should talk about being proactive in our own lives instead of just letting stuff happen. Now, there's two schools of thought in there. There's that connecting with law of attraction, prayer, or whatever, so that you really connect to the divine, you really connect to the universe, you really connect to God, and this opens up, and sometimes you have to work on your receiving. And then there's get off your butt when you're done praying and meditating and doing all this other stuff. Get off your butt and do something about it. You can to the point of feeling good all you want, but your life doesn't change until you take action. Being proactive, not amateur active. Amateur active is just sitting back and just praying for it when all the solutions are within hands reach or a drive.
I know you're making up a phrase there, but I would actually argue that amateur active is reactive. It's, when the time's right, something will happen. Oh, it happened. Let me react to this, as opposed to going out and taking care of business.
Well, and that's like when things are coming at you, you kind of got to protect yourself, wearing that flak jacket, almost like a prophylactic or something like that you're defending yourself with. That you got to make sure that these things don't come at you.
I know it's going to come up. I was trying not to laugh. I was trying to laugh. You know it's going to come up eventually.
So, whatever it is, this is where the rubber hits the road. That's all I'm saying. If you want things to work in your life, Just like we were talking about, having a proactive helping hand. Sometimes that helping hand is in your own life. You want something to happen, you got to work on it. You know, I didn't have a radio show with Charles until we actually started doing something. We could have talked about it all we want. The Tortuga Twins don't have 5 different shows that we run, like just talking about what our next show should be. It's actually doing the work, doing the writing. And is it always fun? No. Is it often work? Yes. But then you do it, and eventually you reap the rewards of all that hard effort that you put in. I mean, even if something golden drops in your lap, here is the answer to all of your life for you to move on to a bigger, better, better, more level of your life. You're still going to have to reach out, pick it up, and move forward. There's this is a weird, it's not really an analogy, but whatever. I believe it was William the Conqueror when he was getting off the boat to get into England. He got off the boat and he tripped. He tripped in the mud on the beach, and everybody around him was like, "Oh, that was a bad omen. That's whoa, what's going to happen now?" And he thought really quickly, and he grabbed 2 fistfuls of the beach, and he stood up and he said, "Thus I take England into mine own 2 hands." And he turned a bad thing into a good thing. But that's the thing you got to do. You got to grab it. You got to grab it and take it into your hands and do something about it and move forward. And I'm so excited about
this.
And
then he turned back around with his back to everybody. Like, "Oh my God, that just happened! Oh, are they looking? Oh, okay, they're good. They're good. Okay,
we're good.
Right.
We're good.
We're good. Is my fly down? No. Okay, good. You know, there's a victim mentality. And then there's planning, and there is I know there's somewhere in between, and in this move it's become evident to me with the way Aaron and I moved into this house when we were first married. We've been married about 2 or 3 years, and we were able to build this house, and we were a little bit proactive, going, "Oh, we want this specific thing in the house, we want that specific thing," but for the most part it just happened to us. It's like, okay, well, we don't know, and I don't know is the thing that's going to kill you. You don't have to know everything, but it's the I don't and I can't that's going to kill you in this thing. And you can find out. Well, if you don't know, what's the opposite of that? Finding out, figuring it out, just moving forward. And we didn't do that when we moved into this house. Moving into this next house, we've been planning this for 3 months. And we've been going, okay, what can we do? Some of it's been packing, but a lot of it's been planning, making lists of who do we need to contact, what do we need to change in our life, what do we need to do to set up a good life fast as possible into this new house. As opposed to we've been involved a little bit in the people who are moving out and seeing some of what happened there. And they've been out of the house for over a week now and still haven't done an address change. They've been out of the house for a week, and as far as I know, the power and water are still in their name. You know, it's like, why aren't you taking care of business? And it's not my business to get on to them about it, but I'm seeing a drastic difference now of we've leveled up our lives and our mentality. We become more proactive in everything on what can happen, what do we need to happen, and we plan it far enough in advance so that the stuff we forgot, oh yeah, add that to the list. Oh yeah, add this to the list. And we literally, like you said before, Mordant, we made a list of what we need to do to move into this next phase of life, a literal list, so that you can go down it, because you will forget something. And it can be a bad something if you forget it. Like you forget to change your stuff on your bank account and your debit card, and you go to get fuel, and you put in the wrong zip code, and you don't know why, because you're in a new one. You know, you're not going to get stuff done. You're not going to be able to pay bills. And I actually had somebody ask me when I was changing the address, and I gave them my debit card. They said, is the debit card to the new address or to the old one? Well, that's a very good question. It's to the new one. I've already changed it. I've taken care of business. So, there's just so much drama and trauma that you miss out on when you're proactive.
Right. You just, there's a lot of times where people also were not, they would rather take it easy today and worry about it tomorrow than take care of it so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow, because they don't really feel connected to that person, that future self. Again, the willpower instinct, it talks about that. It talks about how we feel a disconnection to who we are in the future. So instead of saving up for your retirement, you're going to blow a little money now. That's all right, because you don't feel connected to that person. Well, I want to take care of this right now, so I'm actually helping myself out in the future. That's me. If you find some way to connect to that person, if you do, and they even talked about, they did a study where they had the people visualizing themselves as that person in the future. Those people who did that visualization felt more connected and were more proactive with taking care of their retirement or whatever it was they were working on. With me, as I'm thinking about this now, often when I'm done with this show, I don't like to have to write the show notes for the show because I'm like, we've been working on this for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm kind of done. But what that does is it's not until the weekend that I'm writing that, and usually I'm scrambling to write that because we put this show out on Sunday. What I really should do if I wasn't going to do my future self a favor was take care of it now. And that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to make sure I do that because I'm talking about it on the air. So cut your future self a break. Take care of it now. Be proactive in your own life. If you're setting yourself up to have a great life, be proactive in that. If you're setting yourself not to have a suck life, because there is a difference there. Hey, look, I'm doing things so I can have a bigger, better, brighter, more life. Cool. Well, hey, look, I'm taking care of this thing I don't want to do, so I won't have to do it then. No, I'm tired. I really should. Yes, but if you take care of it now, it's done. Then you have goof off time. And later tonight, I'm going to have goof off time, and I can't wait.
If you said that to my wife, she'd think about cleaning and the cleaning product goof off. So downtime might work for some people. I'll just say
Right.
There's just so much more to be said, but the sum it up for me is handle your stuff. I have a big soundboard, and I have a lot of cables going out of it and going into my computer. And typically, I actively choose to not memorize the settings because I like to have the idea of a fresh start, a fresh setup. When I move my desk, when I move a board, I want to relook at it, maybe rearrange some cables, maybe do something a little differently. But that didn't feel right this time, and I'm actually gone to an event for the next 3 days, and then I'm moving the day after that's done. So today is my day to prepare everything, and then it's up to my wife and anybody else who's going to help us to take care of stuff. So I said to myself, okay, instead of focusing on, well, I can make some money today, I can do this, I can do that, I'm actually going to be proactive and handle all of my business in my office before I leave. And I'm actually going to be prepared for the next couple of days to make some extra money with computers and whatnot and be proactive. And like you said, Mona, it's so easy to not do that, just to put it off. But when you want to put something off, you really have to look at it and go, will this actually be okay to put off, or will it benefit me just to get it done? So get it done.
Yeah.
I think we're hitting the wall on time here, but there was some good stuff there.
Excellent, yeah. And if you find that you, like often with Charles and myself, they're like, oh, but I have so many other things that I have to do. Instead of, like for me, I just moved into the house here in Gastonia. Instead of cleaning the room and setting up, I'm like, nope, I'm going to set aside an hour today so I can do that. Is there other things I should be doing? Is there other business things I should be doing? Absolutely. But that's for peace of mind and quality of life. And if I have so much on my table that I can't even take care of that, I need to remove that. Or I need to remove something from my table. So I'm just going to set an alarm and do that for an hour.
Cool. There you go.
There you go.
So,
all right.
Who's doing it? Rock, paper, scissors? All right, I win. For Success Freaks, I'm the Success Freaks. I'm Charles McFall. That's our Mort at Mon. Always tune in to successfreaks.com. And please email us. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that's it. Ciao, dream catchers. Boom, baby.
Be more proactive.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
All right.
All right, that was good.
Well, if I want to edit it out, you got to give me another Ciao, dream catchers. Boom, baby.
Oh, no. You can. I thought it was because of time. That's what I meant.
Oh, no. Okay.
If it's fine, I don't care. It's fine. I don't care.
Don't
good?
Care. Yeah, you want to do a teaser?
Yeah, I do.
Tough. Don't want
All right.
to. All right, let's see.
I'm gonna proactively make me something to eat after this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I smell my wife's cooking something. Oh, no, I solo mute. All right. 6 and 4. We're all set there. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay.
A recording. You're gonna do the intro. Okay, I think I got the start, and we'll just go back and forth.
All right. Welcome to Success Freaks number 170, a proactive helping hand.
We'll get to hear a story from Mornet where he helped somebody out who didn't think they needed help.
And as a result of that, we get to learn about how you too can help somebody out. Which I don't like.
Do it again. Talk about the discussion. Well, let's stop. Let's stop. Well, you don't have to stop.
Keep rolling. Yeah.
All right. So here we're gonna do another one. Cancel. Keep rolling.
Sorry, I kind of just ran out of steam there.
So I like where this is starting to go. I'll talk about what you said, which was a very fitting thing. It's the first segment. Then you can talk about, and then Charles asked, what's the difference between being nosy and proactive, or being whatever. And then I'll come out and say the question is, how do I become proactive in my own life? And then you can say all this and more, next.
Right.
However you want to say it.
Yep.
All right,
Ready?
go.
Welcome to Success Freaks number 170, a proactive helping hand.
We'll hear more to tell a story about this week how he helped somebody who didn't think they needed help.
Later on, Charles asked the question, what's the difference between being proactive and being nosy?
And we have a question from a Yahoo Answers that asks, how do I get proactive in my own life when other people are keeping me down?
Somewhere in all of this mix, we also talk about interventions and other such things.
So you can hear all this and more coming up next.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. If there's too much dead air in between the statements,
I always edit that down.
It always sounds good. I know. I should shut that up. Let me be proactive and shut it down. Oh, for shit.
All right. I'll get this cut and up to Hugh, and you'll get your stuff written today.
Yeah, I'll write my stuff right now because I said I would.
Let me stop the broadcast.
Are you? Yeah. Are you free?